Hello, 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 my beautiful Psychwine students. Welcome to the live stream. How are you all doing today? Got some nice Mirror's Edge Catalyst music right now. We're going to be continuing to work on Judith's dad, who, as you might have seen, has changed a little bit design-wise. He no longer is bearded or mustachioed. That was just how it ended up turning out as I was doing this and realized that with the mustache he looked too much like the headmaster. And then, I don't know, I just am not feeling the beard either. He doesn't seem like the bearded type, and beards were not as common during this time period anyway, so whatever. I've already got a couple characters with beards anyway. Like the Lunch Lord and the Bard has a goatee. Sometimes it's hard to exactly explain why, I'm just not feeling it. And congrats, Taylor, on finishing the first few pages of your fairy tale. I hope that goes well for you. Been doing swell. That's good. That's great. It's been a good day for me. I had to do a lot of shopping for some essentials. And I got my hair cut. So that was good. Always good to get a nice haircut. And I dyed my hair too. I dyed it red. Like a kind of a dark red. I used to do that a lot, but I haven't done it in a long time, and I thought it'd be fun to do it again. This week I was working a lot on the puzzles for day 4 of the game. On day 4 there is a specific escape room that has to do with the headmaster's office. This isn't really a spoiler to say. So I've been working on the puzzles for that and having a good time, fun time designing all those. Now I do have to warn you guys about something very important. You need to know this because this could save your life. Basically, the Kickstarter is going to be closing. The late pledges of the Kickstarter are closing tomorrow because I need to make sure that I have a definitive list of everybody that I need to ship stuff to. Because, yeah. So, there is exclusive stuff for the Kickstarter that will not be available after the Kickstarter closes tomorrow night. Tomorrow at like midnight. Especially, hold on. This purple version of the Gothic outfit. This one you will not be available after tomorrow night. So, if you want it, make sure to get it now. Or tomorrow before midnight. The way you can get it is through the Class President tier add-on, or you can get it, Class President tier, or you can get it as an add-on. So you can either get it like as an add-on, or the Class President tier comes with it automatically. Also, there are some exclusive, Kickstarter exclusive dorm decorations, which will probably include a poster with some cute art on it. So yeah, just to let you know, that's what's going on. I'm gonna link the Kickstarter to you guys if you want to help support, because that money goes to the voice acting right now. Alright. Oh, Bright Eye, you got your wisdom teeth taken out? That's crazy. Hope you're doing well. I had all of mine taken out, and it was not a pleasant experience. I was awake the whole time. Alright. What needs to be done next? Well, first off, I'm gonna touch up the tail a little bit. Not too much needs to be done on the tail, but definitely a little bit needs to be done. So I'm gonna make another overpaint so that we see what I do today. We can check on the progress of what we all got done today. And I'm going to do another super chat goal. Alright, there we go. Got another super chat goal. If you spend $10 or more, you can write a message on a hidden part of the model and it will stay there even when it's in the game. Of course, it needs to be appropriate. And we've had a couple messages written on the model already that I thought were very fun. Like, Mason was here. And you shouldn't have done that. So if you'd like to do that, feel free to donate $10 through the link in the description or through Super Chat. Okay, now that I've got through the shilling section of the stream, it's time to actually get to work. Alright, work mode activated. I'm gonna start with the tail. Whenever you see me doing that, by the way, that's me freezing the other areas of the model so that I don't accidentally paint them when I'm trying to paint the tail. And just a reminder, the music we're listening to right now is Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Good question from Taylor Edwards. Is Judith's little sister going to get a redesign, or are you just going to update her model? I'm probably just going to update her model. I don't think there's anything wrong with your dress design. Just some little kind of proportional stuff I might change. Like I might make her eyes a little bit smaller. I don't know. I have to take a look at her model again. Or maybe I'll make them a little further apart, you know, that kind of stuff. Just some little things to keep it more in line with the current standard. I don't really know that much about Michael Jackson, sorry. Did I ever tell you guys the story about when I was a kid? And I don't think I've ever said that story on stream. Maybe I have. It's a very fun story to tell, but whenever somebody talks about Michael Jackson, it reminds me of when I was a kid. Again, I don't know that much about Michael Jackson, so this is not really about him, as it were, but you'll see, you'll see. So, basically, when I was a kid, my mom was really trying to encourage me to get into being an entrepreneur. We were homeschooled, and she wanted to do what she could to encourage me to make my own business and become business savvy, as it were. So one of the things we did was I started to get really into knitting, and she said, hey, you know, if you want, you could make some little knitted things to sell. Oh, wait, I have told that story, Swirl? Okay, never mind. Maybe I don't even know how recent it was when I told that story, so I don't want to repeat it. Yeah. Unless people here want me to repeat it, I don't know. Whatever. I don't remember the last time I said... Okay. Okay, that I'll retell it. So like I said, so I started a little knitting business where I would sell knitted goods to people at my church, or I made like little phone cases and change purses and stuff like that. And my mom would make these little tags for them. And then she was like, hey, you know what's something else you could do to expand your business is to is to sell it at a little boutique or something where you can earn money that way. You can sell it to them wholesale. You know, she was just teaching me business stuff, you know, learn by doing. And so I sold them to the little boutique that was a local boutique in LA, and they started selling it. And then Mom started contacting news outlets, like local news outlets and stuff, and was like, hey, are you, oh, sorry. Hey, is anybody interested in doing a story on my daughter doing her little business? Because I was like 8 years old, by the way. I was 8 years old at this point. And a local newspaper, a local Los Angeles newspaper, they decided to take up the story, and so there's a little newspaper article with me in it modeling my wares about how this 8-year-old is doing business in a boutique. I actually have a picture of that news article on my website. Hold on. It's kind of low quality, but let me find it real quick. Hold on. Here we go. I have to zoom in. Yeah, 10-year-old entrepreneur is busy knitting together a business plan. Oh, oops. Hold on. There we go. That's me. And when I was 10 years old, and my sisters are modeling my knitted stuff. Oh, that's when I had like a baking business when I was 5 years old. And then I started doing pony stuff, and there's some pretty bad pictures of when I was drawing ponies. Anyway, after that, we got contacted by Good Morning America, which is a news outlet in America. And they said, hey, we want to do a TV segment on Anastasia. And I was so excited. I was like, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to be on TV. This is so cool. And so they came over to our house. And the reporter lady, I don't remember her name, but she was so nice to me. And we took her up to my room, and she interviewed me, and we had the cameraman in there. And Mom made sure that we had a whole wall of yarn behind me, all the yarn that I was using to make the products. And it was just a beautiful shot, and I loved it. The reporter was so nice to me. And then they told us, okay, we've edited the segment, and it's going to air on this day, on this time. But at the time, we couldn't afford cable. So we had to drive all the way out to my aunt and uncle's house, which is like 40 minutes away. So all of us got in the car and went all the way over to my aunt and uncle's house, and we sat down in front of their TV, and we waited for the time to be announced. We waited. And then finally, the announcer says, breaking news, Michael Jackson found dead in home. And I was like, what? Keep in mind, I barely knew who he was. So I was like, what's going on? And so we sat there watching the news about his death and waiting for my segment to pop up. My parents were like, sorry, Anya, this takes precedence over your segment. I think they're going to not air your segment. And I was so mad. And then we ended up calling the studio afterwards and asking, hey, could we at least get it on VHS or something, like just to have a copy of it for posterity's sake? And they said no. And we were like, no! But at the very least, we do have my dad's home videos where he got some video of the reporter talking to me and stuff. So yeah, that's my story. That's the story about how Michael Jackson's death ruined my chance to be on TV. But it's a very funny story to tell, so it's kind of fun to have that to tell people, you know? Oh, trust me, it's not rough for me anymore. That was like 16 years ago. It's just funny to me now. I'm doing way cooler things now than just being on TV. Like local news channel, you know? But the experience was still fun because that reporter was so nice to me and I liked her, so yeah. No, no, that's fine mentioning him. Again, there's no bad blood or anything. It's just a funny story from when I was a kid. Have you seen those yarn Rocky going around the internet? Oh, like Rocky from Project Hail Mary? Because no, I have not. That does sound pretty cute, though. I don't really knit anymore, though. I mean, I do, actually, but not as much. Yeah, Cranky, homeschoolers are on that small business grind. It's called learning on the job. My mom was really trying her hardest to encourage me to do all kinds of cool things. So, I appreciate that. Because now, look at me now. I've got my own business. Ink Rose Ink. It's like my entire life has been a grind to try to be able to make money doing what I love. Like, I've already told you guys how much of a breakthrough this Kickstarter was, but just to emphasize it again, this Kickstarter was a serious breakthrough for me. Actually making money on my passions. I'm so excited to get this game out! It's gonna be good. I also got interviewed for the Jay Leno Young Kid Inventors segment, so I got to go to the studio, the Tonight Show studio and all that. But, you know, inventing a business isn't really inventing, so I was technically disqualified, which makes sense. But yeah, I got to see the stage and everything. I didn't meet Jay Leno, but I saw his car in the parking lot. I was interviewed by some kind of a show assistant lady, who was also very nice. That's the kind of things you remember when you're a kid. You're just like, that person was nice. That person was not nice. It's like, I can't really tell you more than that, because that's what my kid brain remembers. Thank you, Celestial and Oscar. Justin, the voice actor, asks, are you a solo dev? I am not a solo dev. I am developing alongside Caius Nelson, who is the games programmer, and Cranky Corvid, who's in this chat. She's the assistant environment artist on the game. And then my sister's working on the music, and my mom does some of the UI stuff. I'm the kind of the lead dev, director, writer, artist thing, person. Justin, the voice actor, says, I haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, understandable. The algorithm has been kind of brutal to me, to be honest. It seems like YouTube is not showing my stuff to most of my subscribers. I have 100K subs, but YouTube is... only a few of them are seeing my recent stuff. So it's been a little tough. I have admittedly considered making another channel to see if that would help, that I wouldn't be kind of burdened by the fact that YouTube is looking at my channel and they're like, oh, she has 100K subs, but only a small portion of them are actually clicking on her video. Therefore, her videos must be bad and we won't push them in the algorithm. That's what I feel like is happening. Because a lot of these subs are also old, like they're from the pony days, or maybe a lot of them are dead accounts too, because I keep losing like over 100 subs every month, and I'm thinking those are probably dead accounts. Because I don't know why like that many people would be unsubbing every month. It's probably dead accounts, or bot accounts or something. Anyway. I've thought about making a second channel, but I've decided against it because just this channel is so important to me and has so much history to it that I just don't want to abandon it. So I'm going to fight through the algorithm stuff, hopefully. See if I can. Taylor says, speaking of that, is your sister going to play Heather once you eventually make Mariposa and the Galaxy Man? Oh, probably, if she's up for it. She did a great job in the demo. It shows me every time you... mainly your streams, though. That's cool. Do you have me on notification settings on, though? That might be why they're actually showing you, if you have the bell icon on. I love the bell icon because YouTube has devolved so much that now, like, you have to press that to get notifications about YouTubers. But anyway. But I love it that I actually at least have that option to be notified. Can you keep his sideburns or give him stubble instead? I don't really think he would have stubble. He's a more kind of clean type, like. Especially in the 1940s, stubble wasn't really a style in the 40s. It was considered unkempt. And he does have sideburns. Well, I guess they're not that much sideburns. I'll see what I can do. You voice act on your phone, and surprisingly it's good quality. You do want to get a mic, though? Yeah. I wish you luck with that. Voice acting is tough. We've finally gotten most roles cast in Nora Moore. There's still a couple people I have to finish casting, though, like the Bard and Madame Nora Moore. They're both tough careers, I'd say. Voice acting and game dev. Good luck to you. Okay, there we go. See ya, Cranky. Taylor says, quick question. If someone from another planet eats food from this planet, is their skin going to turn black, white, or gray? Probably not, because I don't think our skin works like that. Well, hold on. It kind of does. I've heard that if you eat basically nothing but carrots, your skin gets more orange. I don't know to what extent that works, though, for humans. Mainly just the hands turn orange. That makes sense. How much red 40 do I need to eat to become red? Quick, I need to eat as much red 40 as possible. Time for the pants. Some nicely pressed pants. Oscar says, I like his little fetlocks just above his hooves. Yeah, me too. Celestial asks, is the Glacid, or however it's called, going to get a redesign? Yeah, I would say so. For those who don't know what Celestial's talking about, one second, let me show you the Glacid. This is a model from Mariposa and the Galaxy Man, so it's rather old. Here we go. This is the Glacid. It doesn't have any teeth because it doesn't chew or even really swallow its food. What it does is it has this giant mouth, and which wraps around its prey, and then there's a bunch of like acid glands in the mouth that dissolve the prey outside the body and then slurp it up like a smoothie. So it's really scary. You do not want to mess with these guys. But as you can see, this model is old and the quality is old, and it doesn't really fit in line with the current standards for the designs of Noivessen animals. Some stuff still tracks, like having these kind of multiple nose things, which I've done on a couple of the creatures from this planet, these sort of multiple nostrils. But I need to add some kind of gemstone or mineral to its design. It needs to be, you know, black and white. And that kind of thing. So yeah. I might reuse most of the mesh and retexture it and just add on some different stuff, so I'll probably cannibalize the model into something else at some point. But yes, that was a good question. Thanks for asking. Texturing pants like these always just makes me think of Severance. Y'all should watch Severance. It's such a good show. You should just get a free trial of Apple TV and then go watch it and then cancel your Apple TV. For legal reasons, that's a joke. The Rathlodon. Yeah, I need to make more of a design for that one to show you guys. I don't have anything visual to show yet. This is such good working music. The Rarenok redesign? Yeah. I'm excited, but also not excited to remodel the Rarenok, because on one hand, I love the new design and I can't wait to see it in 3D, but on the other hand, oh my gosh, doing geode textures is so time consuming to paint. So, considering the entire creature is a geode, it's going to be a process. That's for sure. But hopefully a worthy process. What is y'all's favorite creature of mine so far? It's going to be a process. Sorry, my own stream was playing there for a sec. Oh, you like the book sprite and the mushroom creature? Yeah, I like those too. I like all my critters. Kipson comes to mind. Oscar says Kipson the fluff bats. Nice. I really want to do some kind of liminal space project at some point. I can't tell you guys how much I love liminal space themed stuff. Like Portal and Severance. I'm really excited for the Backrooms movie. I hope it's good. Just learn the difference between crocheting and knitting. Oh yeah, they're different. They're different. Look at how crispy these pants are. Crispy. Oh, what would I do with a liminal space project? I don't know. I just have these vibes in my head, but I haven't like concepted them out into anything I could really talk about. I just know in my heart that I want to do some kind of liminal space game. Like Stanley Parable vibe. Yeah, I would say my favorite liminal type games are Portal 2 and Stanley Parable. And then favorite show-wise is Severance. I'm trying to think. Oh, and Control. Control. That is such a beautiful liminal space type game. Golly. Control is not like the best game in the world. It's not like in my top 50, but it's great. It's great. Especially for the vibes. The vibes alone make it just insane. If anybody is a liminal space fan, you should play Control. I have Alan Wake 2. I was able to get it on pre-owned at GameStop. I gotta play it when I have the time. Recently, in my free time before bed, I've been reading a lot more, and recently I just finished the first book of a series called Dungeon Crawler Carl. Apparently this one has been pretty popular, but I haven't really heard about it until recently. And it's about the apocalypse coming to the Earth, aliens are basically take over the Earth in like 1 second. And then the survivors have to play on this game show type thing. That's like a dungeon, almost Dungeons and Dragons themed in the underground of the Earth. And you have to get to level 18 in order to win the freedom of the planet back from the aliens. So it's, of course, super kind of tongue-in-cheek and parody of reality TV type of thing, with a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons type stuff in there. I was a little worried that the humor wasn't really going to click with me. Like, it was going to be a little too Reddit, if that makes sense. But once I got past a little bit of that, it was a pretty fun and fast read. Very kind of fast-paced and enjoyable, with some enjoyable characters. And I already got book 2. I'm excited. It's not like my favorite book, because some of the humor isn't really that funny to me. But enough of it is, and it is charming enough that I'm really interested to see how the main character kind of solves all the problems that he goes through. That's pretty entertaining. So, I already got the second book, and I'm looking forward to reading it. I also got Jane Eyre. I'm excited to read that one, too. I haven't read Jane Eyre before. Are there dragons in Noives? Yes. I call them drakens, though. I don't really know why I did that. I guess I wanted them to be a little bit separate from a literal dragon, but they're basically just dragons. Don't pay the name difference that much mind. They're like angel dragons. Death Stranding for liminal space. That's a good one. I haven't played Death Stranding. It's not really up my alley, but I appreciate the liminal vibes. I would say that Half-Life 2 also has a liminal vibe. Especially when you're all alone in that game. Half-Life Alyx is similar. Because so much of it is moody and abandoned and melancholy in a very strange way. The Source Engine games in general just kind of have that vibe a lot of the time. Something very kind of contemplative about a lot of the spaces that you navigate around. Not Team Fortress, though. That one. Not unless you're on a map completely alone. Then it can get a little liminal, but not really. I've been thinking about cutting highlights from these streams and making them into shorts, but I don't know if I have time for that. Is there can you hire somebody to clip your streams? I don't even know where I would go to do that. I don't even know if my streams have anything worth clipping, to be honest. Oh, you got Hades for your PC? Nice. Nice. That is a really good game. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it, I say. Nova Prospect? Yeah, yeah. Oscar says, in 2021 I had a liminal space experience in an abandoned hotel by a seaside village. No one was around, I was far from my hostel, and it was getting dark fast. Ooh, yeah. Nice. Driving through the Midwest in general is a liminal space experience. The Midwest is just a liminal space unto itself. Hades 2 is good too. They are both finely crafted games. Very finely crafted. The peak of gaming excellence. Cruise ships can be liminal and off-season at night. Oh, I'm sure they are. That, I mean, yeah. You don't even have to sell it to me. I can already see it. I really love looking into shipwrecks and maritime disaster stuff, videos. That stuff is scary to me. That's what makes it fascinating, though. I wouldn't say I have an unnatural level of fear for the ocean, but it's one of those things that I just really love consuming horror about. I love ocean horror. But like I said, I wouldn't say I literally have like a fear of the ocean. Again, at least not any more than is natural for a human to have. More like a morbid fascination, I guess. Like the idea that these shipwrecks are still around right now at this very moment, just at the bottom of the ocean, just sitting there, is kind of just crazy for me to think about. These major spots of death and disaster sitting completely untouched, as if it's in its own little pocket dimension right now, just sitting there, getting picked away slowly at bacteria, by bacteria and fish and crabs, slowly becoming part of the ocean itself. Yeah, Taylor, that's the Titan submersible disaster. I have looked a lot into that one. That one is very interesting and tragic. We were actually just having a discussion about it on the server. The Bermuda Triangle is also very interesting. Mostly because a lot of it seems to be not due to the triangle itself, but a misinterpretation of the data around it. Like, it's not actually that much more dangerous compared to the rest of the ocean. It's just that a lot of traffic goes through that area, so when something does happen, it's more likely to be in that area than anywhere else. At least that's what I've heard. It's just a very busy area of the ocean. So you're bound to have more accidents there. Yeah, deep sea fish and crustaceans are very cool too. I think it's this music that's got me thinking about liminal spaces. Mirror's Edge also, I think, is pretty good liminal game. Hold on. Let's see if there's a good example here. Yeah, this stuff is pretty liminal. Especially because you're alone there almost the entire time. Yeah, man, look at that. Like, sure, you do fight some enemies, but you're mostly climbing alone on these giant buildings the entire time. It's very cool. How do I feel about Catalyst compared to the original? Keep in mind, I played both of these games a longer time ago, back when I didn't have the same standard of games that I played, where I thought like almost every game I played was pretty awesome, you know? I like both games. I like them both. I would say that the story of both are fairly forgettable, but they're not really story games. I remember liking Catalyst, but I'm gonna have to replay it. Maybe I'll have a more mature opinion of it these days, but I enjoyed it. And I liked the open world idea because then you could kind of play around with your parkour and try out different things in the same area and try out different new ways of getting to the same places. I don't know. It's one of those things where I understand the criticism for it, but I don't know if I necessarily agree. I have to replay it. I don't even know if I own it anymore though, because I had it on my EA account and I like never log into that account anymore. I'd have to see if I can even get to that account. Sorry, that was my footstool. I just got a footstool because my chair is too high off the ground, and I can't get it any lower. So I just got a footstool, but it's made out of metal, so when I hit it, it makes a loud noise. Sorry. Am I putting too much detail into these pants? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I'm gnome-sized. Hey, don't say gnome-sized, say fairy-sized. That's better. 5'2" is not that short, guys. Come on. Right? Right? Okay. Would you say that Shadow of the Colossus is a liminal game? I have not played that game, but so that's why I need to ask you guys. When I was a kid, for some reason, I always thought of pixies as wingless fairies that were more like little, just like little elves, basically. And then fairies as the ones with wings. I don't know why or where I got that from. It's probably only me that ever thought that, though. Pixies are little elves, and fairies are the winged ones. Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus might be too ancient looking to really get liminal. Liminal sort of derives more from our modern experience of architecture, I think. I think people tend to use pixie and fairy interchangeably. Probably depends on the mythology. Celestial says, pixies in my webcomic have more boxy moth-like wings. Oh, that's cute. That's a cute idea. I like that. Well, it's kind of like the difference between the Floodikins and the Palamots in Mariposa and the Galaxy Man. think the pants are coming along fairly nicely. Okay, the pants are almost done. Just gotta get some seams on there. Thank you very much, Cigarette. Happy little crease. Thanks, Oscar. Yeah, sometimes it bothers me a little bit, like, dang, it's hard to get reference of the specific leg shape wearing business pants. So I have to wing it a little bit. But hey, that's part of the joy of art, I suppose. Needing to wing it and trying to land the plane. Alright. Pants are done, I think. Okay. Something that seriously needs attention is the back of this jacket. I'm gonna need to snag some references though. So, but in the meantime, I think it's time to put some of these stripes in. Already I gotta do some pants stripes. Okay. Will there be any jump scares in my game? No. I don't think so. I can't recall any. There'll be some creepy parts, but not a straight up like "Ree!" jump scare kind of thing. This is not Five Nights at Freddy's. Don't worry. Okay, let's do these stripes. Hopefully this shouldn't be too hard. I'm gonna refreeze the pants again, even though I just froze them. Oh well. Free run jump scare. Okay, so on the bottom of the pants, I need to make a dark spot. Jump scares from Nancy Drew. Man, those were my childhood horror games. Nothing, I wouldn't say there's anything as scary as the Japanese bathhouse lady in Nancy Drew. That was scary. Okay, now we're gonna do something called multiply. There we go. Now we're gonna do another something. Watch and learn. I don't actually know how good this is gonna look, so let's hope and pray. And it's not done yet. I still have to change the settings on the blend, so it's not gonna look like this. I swear to God. Trust the process. This is such good work music. I love the Mirror's Edge soundtrack. This helps me focus. Let's get funky. The overlay is looking pretty good. Well, let's see how it stacks up on this one. Oh, that looks pretty good too. Okay, let's try this out. Musical Programmer says, one thing that always puzzles me is how hand-painted models are generally shaded. There's no point light, for example, so are the models maybe simulating the sky without the sun? Yeah, it's a little hard to explain. They're kind of lit almost like studio lighting, where there's just sort of a general light coming down from above, kind of like the sun coming down from above. That's just generally like a really simple way to explain it, I guess. I don't know if I have the terminology in mind to explain this properly. Let me freeze the collar real quick. There we go. Oh, you know what I should do? I should do this. Okay, here we go. The stripe part is not going to be on the red part. I'm just doing that now and I'll erase it later. Okay, I'm gonna fix this after I finish them all. Yeah, it's a good soundtrack. What was the jingle? Someone was texting me. That's all. Good night, Oscar. Thanks for joining. Okay. Whew. Something else I need to do, though. 1 second. I need to add a little seam here. Oh, too big. Pippin Starshine says, about Judith and her classmates, the main ones, do all of them come from different fiefdoms due to their colors, or do they all just live in the same one? I'm just curious. That's a good question, and honestly, this might be confusing for a lot of players, which is a shame, because I don't intend it to be confusing, but okay, let me explain. Most of her friends are all Drakenspire born and Drakenspire citizens from Drakenspirian families. Most of them. Obviously, you know, like Lydia comes from a different country and stuff like that. But the reason why they have different colors is because normal, average families in each fiefdom just have the color of their family. They don't have the fiefdom's main color, you know? Like, for example, Becky. Becky's family has lived in Drakenspire for a long time, but despite living in Drakenspire, which is red-themed, her family is a pink family. However, if you are nobility in Drakenspire, then you're red. If you're nobility, then you gotta have a family color that aligns with the official fiefdom color. So, nobles in Corvinstone are purple. Nobles in Northburg are blue. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that if you are red in Drakenspire that you are a noble. Like, sometimes they just families happen to be red, or they're descended from nobility but are no longer noble. Yeah, hope that makes sense. Technically, it would probably be way easier to understand if whatever fiefdom you're from, you just had that color, but that would be a problem for the game because then almost everybody would be red, and that would not really be very fun for character design purposes. So that's why I designed it that way. That, you know, normal average families can basically be any color, but nobility is a specific color. Tied to what fiefdom they're from. Because, yeah, just having everybody be red because they're in Drakenspire would be boring. The Lydia and Cabrera come from a country that is green themed. So, they didn't pick it. That is, like, different cultures and countries do still have symbolism in their colors, but maybe it comes from a different thing. Like, maybe it depends on what tribe you're from, or it depends on what your type of job is, depending on the country, you know. Maybe even certain countries that you have multiple different colors that each represent a different aspect of who you are or where you come from. But the Monte Cuerno, which is where Lydia and Cabrera come from, they pretty much have a similar family color type of thing going on there, so it wasn't a big transition for them moving to Drakenspire. Hope that makes sense. I've actually been thinking of changing Gina to be a little antelope. Italian antelope. Because it makes sense if her family comes from that fiefdom. So I've been thinking of changing her to a different cyquine species. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure if I'm going to do that, though. Okay. How are we feeling about the stripes? What else is there to do besides the back of the coat? I might be almost done with this guy. I feel like the inside of these sleeves need to be darker, for one thing. Oh, you know what? I also have to do his teeth and his tongue. That's kind of boring to do. That's not very fun to do, but it has to be done. Because I've done it so many times at this point that it just has become a chore. Gina is perfect, but it'd be cool to have a little bit of representation from that Italian-themed area, too. And she already fits the colors perfectly. So I'll think about it, see if it actually looks good on her. Yeah, he's almost done. Okay, let's look at this tongue real quick. Yeah, it's all gray. Dang it. I did not do this yet. Like, it's not hard, it's just boring doing this part. Okay, where is this on my UV sheet? What the heck? Ah, there we go. Yeah, the AC was fixed. So now I'm able to stream today. Yoo-hoo! Okay, now for step 2. Which is the terrifying part. Ah! Oh god, why? This is so I can actually see what I'm doing as I'm painting this bit. Judith does have a pet. She has a Kipson. A pet Kipson that is kept at home. Okay, now time for teeth. It's the other AI from Digital Circus. Nice one. I wonder what people think who are tuning into the stream right now. Ah, it's Kane! He's back! Okay. Cool, cool. Almost done with the teeth. Just gotta fill in some spaces here. Coolio. Alright. Am I really drawing the teeth from both outside and inside? Yeah. Alright. So one thing that I want to do is also touch up the hat. Oh, oops. Oops, oops. I feel like the hat needs a little bit of work. I probably got to find some good reference for it. I feel like it could use a seam around the edges here to really kind of pull it together. But that's besides the point, because the back of this jacket is ugly. Look how plain that is. So I need to find references for the back of a white trench coat. 1 second. Let me look that up. Internet time. I'm finding some good reference. But wait, how this picture, hold on. Ooh, this is a good reference. Okay, let me show you. Here we go. That's pretty good. Now let's see, any other good references here? That looks AI generated. Hold on. Let me find a different one. Here's a little tip for you guys. Try not to use AI generated references because they tend to be not accurate. Just thought you should know. Okay, cool. I found some great references. Let's put this one in. And this one, just for good measure. Did you see that YouTube short about trench coats I posted on the Discord? Oh, sorry, no I haven't. I'll have to go check that. All right, freeze time. Let's freeze this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and where's the, there we go, and this, there we go. All right, we've got all the area we need frozen. So let's do this. Whew, hyping myself up. Hoorah! This is probably going to be a little boring for me, but I gotta do it. That trench coat short explains the parts and what they do. Thought it could be useful. Oh, that could be useful. I love trench coats. Miranda hath returned. Welcome back, Miranda. So it looks like there's a big seam along the back. That should be fun to put in. I like putting in seams. For some reason, they just kind of help it look more complete. Plus, since there's a tail here, it makes sense to have a seam so that they can have an easy tail hole there. I just realized I have not painted the red stuff here at all. I also need to do that. Whoops. I'm glad I caught that. That would have been embarrassing. Thank you, Celestial. Well, the hair on the tail is not as big as it looks. They just squeeze it through. The tail is the same thickness pretty much the entire way through. How about getting a shirt or hat on since they have horns and antlers? They just have clothes that work around that. They've been living for many, many years. They know how to design their clothes to work for them. No, I can't say I've ever imagined that. Sounds like a pretty fun idea. Thanks, Ivana. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm going to erase it later. I'm not gonna make the flap thingy. No, I haven't modeled it in, so I can't really. It's not something I can just add in texturing. No, I'm just not adding it at all. Because it wasn't part of the plan. So it's not in the model, so therefore it's not happening. Hello? It said OBS disconnected for a second there. More of a fashionable coat then? Yeah. Whew, okay. This is difficult. No matter how much practice I get doing wrinkles, I still feel like, oh, this is not good, this is not good. Yes, depending on what you're doing with your model, adding polygons after texturing can be a hassle, let's just say. You have to kind of work around it. Thank you. Basically every few seconds I'm just going, does this look good? Does that look good? Did I just mess up there? I think it's too wrinkly down here. I'm gonna soften this up a little bit. Yeah, sometimes it's also a struggle of just like, how much should I work on this? How much should I, when should I stop and then just save more time for something else that needs doing, you know? I'm probably gonna have to head off in a little bit. Got some stuff going on tonight. And we're just about done with this guy. Anyway. Okay, everybody. I think that's gonna be it for this guy. I still have a couple little things I need to do with him, like the red texture, the red trim, and fix up his hat a little more. But I'm gonna do that off stream because I've got some stuff to do tonight. And yeah, so thank you for joining me on Judith's dad. He's pretty much done. I still need to rig him, and then once he's rigged, I'll have a nice little post on my social medias with his model spinning around and all that stuff. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.